Hey everyone, it's 24emodels.co.uk. Welcome to the next build. I very nearly said part 13 of the Rossi build. No, he's done, he's finished. So, I'll not keep you in suspenders for too long. I'm just going to put my knife there off to the side. Thank you so much for getting in touch and leaving your comments and leaving ideas for what we should be building next. Now, unfortunately, no, I'm not doing an F1 car just yet. I will be doing soon, but at the moment, I'm just fed up to the back teeth of decals, to be honest. I did that many with the Yamaha and Rossi. I can't do any more decals right now. So, with the most sincere apologies for those of you that asked for F1, that will be later on this year. That's something I definitely want to do, because I've not built one of those for years and years and years. Now, if I just pop off over here. There we go. Right. I went up in my loft over the weekend and I found this that I did when I was about 15. So it'd be nice to see how these things have actually taken shape and come along in the what? Good grief, 25 years or so since I last did one of these. Thereabouts. This was the Tamiya kit. So at some point, yeah, later on this year, I'll definitely get back into that. I wouldn't mind seeing, let's say, how they've gone. So I won't keep you in suspenders much longer. Oh yeah, glare everywhere. Right. So a couple of you asked for this. Apologies because I genuinely can't remember your names. I didn't write them down before I started filming because I'm stupid like that. We're going to be going with this thing here, the Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Now I chose this one because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apparently figures. So I should be able to show you a few different metallic techniques. Oh, it's glaring like mad. Quick look around the box. It's sort of blooming lighting out. A lot of blurb about the film itself. Now, I've not seen the film for years and years and years, so I'm going to have to do some research and watch the film as well. Again. Yeah, why not? Let's make it a date and have some popcorn and things like that. It does tell you here, kit includes 5 Endoskeletons in 17 pieces each, with a detailed display base. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And then there's just pretty artwork, and then we get an idea of what the kit looks like just here on the side. Oh, I can see my reflection in the box. Hello! No, that's the camera. No, never mind. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Now, my thinking is, a long time ago, the actual thing that started me off in model making to start with was, if you remember the Airfix figures, we're in 132 scale, which is the same as these, 132nd scale. So it's kind of like going back full circle. So I'm going to be painting scale figures again. I've not done that since I was a kid. It's great. So that's the kind of thing that got me started in the first place. Let's get rid of all the crinkle. I wish I wouldn't use that stuff. I really do. Alright, let's see if that's any less shiny. No, still got shine everywhere. I'm going to have to get some proper lighting. I really am going to have to get some proper lighting. Right, so Pegasus Hobbies is not a brand I'm familiar with, so I'm hoping for good things. Oh, look, more crinkle. More crinkle. There's loose bits in the bag. I don't like that. But at least it's just the one bag. I'll put the knife down. Let's be sensible. So there's the sprues. Now, I'm going to be very honest right now. That's not something I'm familiar with. Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that that's 40 quid's worth of stuff, if I'm absolutely honest. There we go, there's a whole bunch of frames. So it's kind of like tabletop gaming, in a way, but it's not, but it is, but it's not. So that's 5 frames of torso bits, weapons, and looks like feet. Appendages of some description. Just there. Alright, that's cool. Little feet. I like that. Little hands. That's kind of cool. Let's put the instructions out. Pop that off to the side there. We'll have a quick look at the instructions, and yeah, that's a bit odd. That's something I'm not chuffed to bits with. There's bits falling off. It's alright, it's just these things, ejector pins. I hope. Now, huge frame, let's clear the background. Huge frame for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little bits. Is that absolutely necessary? I'm not entirely convinced with that at all. So you got 5 frames like that are just... Ooh. No, let's be positive. Let's be positive. This will be a cool build. This is going to be an awesome build. And then 5 frames like that, which is just odd. We'll have a look at the instructions. I'll go into the base in a second or two. So it looks like a pretty straightforward build. Just down there and turn a little bit. So we've got torso bit, attaches to head and head. Upper arms bolting to the side, and then we get quite confusing. Let's have a look at. Hold on. Oh, so we can create different poses. There's a little star-shaped thing there. I don't know if you make that out, where it says figure joints can be rotated prior to gluing to create different pose options. Well, that's kind of cool. Right, we'll have a play with that once we get there. Apparently there's an alternate right hand option, so we don't have to have a weapon holding hand. We like that. We like that a lot. So it's pretty much a straightforward build from the look of it, he says. I've said that before, and I've ended up having to make complete changes to kits. But it does look quite a basic kit. It really does. And then we get very simple colour callout. And the base is literally just a disc of rubbly stuff and a wall. Intriguing. No, let's stay positive. Do not use any methyl ethyl ketone based glues, as they will not work with ABS plastics. Ah, hello. Kit parts are moulded in styrene and ABS plastics. We recommend using Tamiya extra thin cement, Model Master liquid cement for plastic models, or a cyanoacrylate adhesive for gluing parts together. I'm not using super glue. Last time I used super glue I ended up doing that to myself. To get a really nice finish, make sure you use quality hobby paints and brushes. Take good care of your brushes and clean them well after every time you use them, and they will last a long time. Before you paint, make sure to lay down some newspaper in the area you plan on working. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Always use extreme caution when using hobby tools. Yeah. Does that mean I've got to wear my hat again? My hard hat. Alright, colour chart. It's literally chrome silver, light grey, brown, dark red, red, ivory white and flat black. Very basic. I like that. Lets me choose. Figure locations shown in the bottom corner. Figure locations are shown for suggestion only and can be posed and positioned to your preference. Ooh! Yay! They're not preset. I like that. That's the one thing that always worries me when they give you a base like this. Hang on, let's get rid of this crinkle. Use extra caution when using sharp cutty things. Right, let's have a laugh at this. Nothing else in the bag. Lovely. Right. So the base itself, well, worryingly, there's skulls. There's skulls. There's dead people. I see dead people. And then there's all kinds of ingrained, hopefully you can make that out, ropage and cableage and things like that. So we can add to this. There's all kinds of gate marks that we're going to need to take care of. And then, big bit goes there. That's your base. That's literally all it is to the base. Ooh. Yay! It's like Buckaroo. It actually feels like the Buckaroo game, the plastic. It actually feels like that. Right, stop it. Be sensible, do your job. Me and sensible in the same sentence. Woo! Yeah, there's one for you. Right, let's just take care of that nub. See if that'll stop it spitting out. Oh my god, that's soft plastic. Oh, that's really soft. So, boys and girls, if you decide to buy this kit, you will absolutely, definitely need to use a primer. So, I recommend 2 straight away. Either Tamiya Fine Surface Primer, which will take care of absolutely everything, and my new best friend, which is in a different label bottle because I actually got it from somewhere else before UMP brought it out under license. Stynylres. It's from Badger, but UMP are selling this under their own brand, under license, via emodels.co.uk. Do my job. Do my job. I'm doing my job. See, I can do this. But that's my best friend at the moment. How I managed to get by so far without this stuff, is beyond me. So if you don't have access to an airbrush, hoofy voila, use some of this stuff as your primer. Couple of light coats will take care of everything, and if you do have access to an airbrush, I definitely recommend this stuff. You can brush paint this as well if you get little tiny details and things like that. I will be using the airbrush for the time being because the rubbish weather. I'm in Manchester. It just rains forever, all the time. So let's just have a quick play with this base again. Nope, that's definitely wonky. Yep, that's definitely wonky. That definitely does not fit. You can probably see there a line, this right hand side up. That left hand side definitely does not fit. It's definitely kicking in. You can actually see it there now. So if I line that up with my grid, you can actually see it kicks on a wonk. Hey, yeah, okay. So we'll have to be careful with that. Right, so I'm thinking, if I remember rightly from the films, these robot-y type things are slightly taller than the average human being. So, to emphasise that fact, hold on, let me get a 132 scale figure of a pilot that I happen to have spare. So that's 132 scale, 132nd scale, and let's see, that must be Bits box. Bits box of old kits that have fallen apart and don't exist anymore, and figures that I painted when I was like 15. So that's 135th scale, so we get an idea of 132nd. If he was stood upright, would actually be slightly taller. So that's a bad example. Let's see what else I've got. That's it for now. So we'll have these two as reference with the roboty droidy type blokes when we build them. So my plan of action is we're going to take care of this base first, get that sorted out, and then throw on some just to emphasise the scale of these figures. I've also got jerry cans and oil drums and things like that knocking about, so we'll throw some of those down. Just add a bit more carnage to this scene. We'll use some powders and other bits and bobs just to create a little bit more wreckage. There's a slight warp as well to that base by the sound of it. Ever such a slight warp, which I shall be able to demonstrate with that there. So it doesn't fit, and then all of a sudden, wallop, right in the middle. So, I'm actually happy with that as it is. 2014. So it's quite a recent kit as well, this. A stamp there. Don't know if you can see that. Zoop. There you go, 2014. Other studios are available. I thought this was quite an old kit. Apparently I'm wrong. I like that. I love being proved wrong. So that's the unboxing, which is pretty much straightforward. I genuinely can't believe they've used all that styrene for a couple of small little bits. That's quite baffling. Anyway, so we'll build the base first. Like I say, we'll get that sorted out, and then we can figure out positioning once we've got that sorted out and not overcomplicated or anything like that. But we'll get that sorted out and then throw in the primer. And then we'll build the figures, these things, and then hopefully I can show you several different techniques of how to do metals. I'll be back in a minute. Right, first things first, let's get the cold cup of coffee out of the way. Hello. Just make some room there for that, and then get my clippers. And then, wearing my safety glasses, well, not my glasses anyway because I can't see this kind of distance. I can see perfectly quarter mile away, but this kind of range I can't see a thing. It's all blurry. So very careful with your eyes. Yay! I've got some great fun later on picking these up. Oh, that was boring. I'm waiting for one of these to plonk in my coffee. Where do you go? That landed nearby. That's fantastic. Yeah, I know. There's another boring one. That was good fun, that. I enjoyed that. Right, so, very carefully, very gently. Yeah, sharp cutty things and thumbs in close locations and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, don't use a great deal of pressure to clean these nubs up. That's actually not a bad cut. There is a bit of a seam just there, so we'll get the sandy sticks on that in a minute, just to take care of it. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know, we've got a great big huge diorama base, so I'm going to take some of these oil drums that I've got knocking about, available from emodels.co.uk, as a set from Tamiya, I think it was. Yeah, it was. I'll flash a picture here somewhere. I'm thinking as well, I've got some sandbags knocking about somewhere. Sure I have. If I haven't, I can make some out of milliput. So I'm thinking, stick a couple of bits and bobs around here as if we've had some kind of defensive position or something along those lines. And these T-800s are walking through as if they've just cleared the area of bad guys, of what they would think would be bad guys. We'd know it as resistance or something like that, or heroes, or... I can't remember. I'm going to have to watch the film, aren't I? Remind myself of what all this was about. Because I genuinely don't think I've seen this film since the 90s. And I just realised now how old I am. Yay! Thanks for that. So carve some of the nubs away there, like so. Again, do please be careful. This is a sharp cutting knife. I'm a trained idiot, but I'm also a trained first aider, so I can take care of this if I do cut myself. Which I won't do because I'm being very careful. How many people's toes are curling at the moment watching me use a knife? So, quick scrape of that seamage. So we get all these nasty little white marks like that where the nubs have been, but it's actually really smooth. There's absolutely nothing there to scratch away. It's not that bad, but it does feel like ABS, this. Right, so switch to a skinny smoothie stick. Skinny smoothie? Skinny sanding stick. Good grief. It's going to be one of those builds, I can feel it. All the words don't make sense. Let's clear all this away. Oop, wrong one. So just give everything a quick tickle. Nothing over the top. It's just literally to knock that seam line off. And then we'll run some glue over the top of it just to stabilise everything. Knock it all back a little bit and smooth it all down. We can also hide some of that with some Mr. Hoppy primer. So whilst I'm doing this, I've got all kinds of ideas running through my head about how I'm going to paint these figures. Like I say, I'm going to try and show you a few different techniques for metallics, and then you can decide which one you're going to go with. So it's not going to be so much of screen accurate, this build. I'm not going to use the exact colours they would have used for the kits. Personally, I don't believe in screen accuracy because the films that we know have gone through... What have I put on here? The films we know have gone through that many different colour changes anyway in pre and post production, so the original colours wouldn't have existed in the final edit, if that makes sense. So I prefer to go with what looks right to our own eyes. So you'll never hear me say this is the right colour for this model. I'll leave that for your decision to make, which shades you'll use, but the techniques I'll be using are the basics of how to apply whichever shade of paint you choose, if that makes sense. These kind of things always work better in my head, and I come to explain them in words and it's just like that. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So it's going to knock that line back there. Yeah, that smells like ABS, even through this cold. Like that. Right, let's do a guide coat. So just off to the side I've got some Tamiya rubber black, just happens to be there amongst the mess at the side of me. Yeah, because I'm doing like 3 different video builds at the same time. So it's literally a conveyor belt. Believe it or not, I actually know where everything is. It's quite crazy. It's when I start moving things around and tidying up that I start losing things. So the idea of this now is, let's have that brush there, straight from the lid, and we don't have to worry about stirring or anything like that because I've actually done that in the other builds that I'm working on at the moment. But if you're opening it up for the first time, give it a good stir first, wake everything up at the bottom of the jar. Let's say I'm actually using that on another build off to the side at the moment, so it's already been done for me. Now what this is doing now, is I'm putting this right over the top of where that seam line is, so that once that's dried and I go back with a sandy stick, I can actually see the levels of difference between one side of the seam line and the other. We did this, if you cast your mind back to the front splash guard on the Yamaha. Let's bring him back down. Come here, you. So if you remember when we did this little blue thing just here, we actually did that across the top of the seam, so I could make sure it was absolutely perfectly smooth all the way through. Oh, right, don't fall over again. Stay. Good lad. So we'll leave that to dry for a few minutes and let it do its thing. And I'm just going to take care of that brush off camera. Right, so taking care of that brush off camera, I'm just going to have a quick look around on this. Now, there are a couple of nub marks just on the edge here, so I'm just going to very quickly take care of those as well. So it's literally just give them a quick scratch over. To be fair, they're not that bad, they are actually quite smooth. I'll just give them a quick scratch just to be on the safe side. There's a bit of a catch there, you can probably hear. So give that a quick nip as well. And that's that. So that's practically the base done. So just smooth, swap into the smoothie polishes. They say polishing stone. Words don't come easy. Stop singing. So happy with that. That's basically it for the base. I like that. Not too much messing about. So whilst that's still drying, I'm just going to very quickly line that up there. So if you can imagine a couple of sandbags here. There's a couple of skulls there that will be hidden. When we do things like lop the bottom corner off this oil drum, leave it propped up in the corner there like so, I might even take that lid out and then start drilling some holes into it as if they've been ooh, stay. That's going to go pop any second now, so we're going to see if it actually does. But you know when you've got the oil drums with all the holes drilled into them and they have a bonfire in them, you always see them when firemen go on strike, which, you know, I love firemen to death, especially when they stand outside with all these oil cans and stuff like that. but I love how the oil drums look afterwards, you know, that really burnt and rusted effect. So we're going to try and do some of that with this one. So we're going to plonk it in roughly this kind of area here, I think. A couple of sandbags. And if I can find a 1/35 scale type fixed support fiery type weapon in my stash, then I'm going to add that in this corner as well. So first thing I need to do is possibly pop that top off. Now I don't want to use you because you're sharp, so I'll use these tweezers here because they've got a blunt edge. Available from emodels.co.uk. See, remember oh, hello. Remembering to talk first. So just literally just pop that in the corner there. There we go. Pop. So what I need to do now is obviously that top lip there, where we fixed the drum lid in, that needs to go because that just doesn't look right, and you don't find these on real oil drums. Oh, speaking is difficult. So I'm just going to very quickly shave this out. So I'll probably do this in time lapse. That lets me know to stop filming. Stop the time lapse when I'm editing. Stop filming. I don't know. So obviously you're going to do this very, very carefully because, let's say, sharp cutty things and fingers don't really mix. There's a tab and locating pin thing there. I'm just going to shave back a little bit. And then there's a couple of ejector marks on the inside there. Just come and knock back as well, shave these back. And wherever possible, use the sharpest knife you've got available for this. Like I say, be very, very, very careful with your fingers. The key is, don't apply too much pressure, because it's when you start applying the pressure that accidents happen. You'll slip, and that's when you get that jag that'll actually cut into you. So if you do it very gently and in control, let the knife do the work for you. And the minute you feel the knife catch, just back off with the pressure a little bit. Shallow, make the angle of your blade a little bit more shallow. I'll have to just clear the background, give you an idea of that. That's going to fall off. Stay. So instead of having your knife at that kind of angle there, where it's, you know, more like 45 degrees, come back a little bit and then come a little bit flatter with the blade. Hopefully you can make that out. So instead of being up in the air like that, come down flatter. Let's say nice and gentle. Let the knife do the work. And wherever possible, it's not always possible, but wherever you can, cut away from you, so that if you do slip, you're not going to give yourself some kind of abdominal surgery or worse. Oh, love the imagery. Like I say, I'm a trained first aider. I can take care of these things. A lot of you guys won't be. It's a brave assumption to make. And then when you get all kinds of shavings on your knife like that, don't do what my American brother Adam does and use your fingers to wipe it. Get a bit of a rag. He's a trained paramedic too, so he can take care of himself, which he's had to in a couple of the videos that aired it for him. Yeah, he does. He grabs hold of his knife. I've got to watch this whilst I'm editing. I watch it in real time, and he goes like that along the blade. So you've got the nubs like that on your blade. Use a rag, wipe them off. Safety first, Adam. So I'm doing a pointy telly off finger again now. Right, let's have a quick look in there, see how we're doing. Seems to be okay. So, just going to take that tap down a little bit more. Let's get the light across. Does that help? Oh, that's better. So you should probably make that out there. See if we can take that back a little bit more. And my knife is slightly blunting, if that's even a word. Happy enough with that. Right, where's my round needle file? Right, so I've got a half round and a full round needle file. I'm just going to very quickly, because I can't quite get the polishing sticks, sanding sticks even, in there because of that curve, so I'm just going to very quickly whip around, just smooth that edge off a little bit. Like so. Quick wipe around with a finger, and then using some Tamiya extra thin cement, I'm just going to seal that inside seam there a little bit, where we shaved that located tab from. And my mum's very noisy running partner has just come back with my mum. I'll run around with the extra thin just around that top, just to stabilise the work we've done so far, like so. Lovely. Right, so I'm going to leave that off to the side to dry and do its thing. I'm going to leave that. I'll tell you what, lovely girl, that running partner of my mum's. I'll tell you what, she doesn't talk, she bloody shouts. Right, this guide coat, hopefully you can make that out underneath. So if I'm going over the top now, you can actually see that this side is higher than the black side. And I know that because I'm shaving off from the right hand side first and the left. And the idea now is to basically sand everything so that all the black disappears, which means that this will then be completely level. And you just keep working at it. Right, better with a wider one. Go to a wider one. There we go, so we're just nibbling away. And you'll actually feel it as the plastic's coming away. You'll start fuzzing up in here and you won't get the grip you once had. As soon as that happens, you can see it there now building up. Either on your trousers or, again, on a rag. In my case it's my trousers. They're going in the wash later anyway. Just give it a quick wipe, and you can probably hear now. Stuck at that huge lip. So I'm going to switch to something a little bit more coarser than that, which will be this fella here, I think. Yeah, that one there. Just take care of this bottom corner. There's a fair amount that's got to come off there. There we go. Now you can see that most of that paint's gone, which means that it's practically level. So that probably does, to be honest. Yeah, it feels a lot better. And then, as gross as this is, wet your finger, just come down, take the dust off, and then switch to a smoother grit. And then it's basically the process we've seen before with the Yamaha build and the Rossi build. Just work through the grits, get everything nice and smooth. Switch to a smoother grit again. There we go, that's lovely. That's a lot better. Excuse me, wet the finger, smooth it back. There's the blue one, there's the blue one. Switch grade again. Gone through with the blue grade. And you can see the shine starts coming back now to the plastic. We like that. And then, as soon as we hear a squeak, it's done. There we go, and that is now lovely and smooth. Lovely. So I've just got to repeat the process all the way through there. And I'll do that in time lapse. Lovely. Right, so that's that. I'm not going to get bored of that, you know. So we now have to glue this in to here, like so. And yeah, I'm going to glue that in now and then just prime it all in one go. And for that one I shall be using the big goopy stuff, which means I will have to stand there for a few minutes and hold it. Now, I'm not going to use super glue for that, because super glue is absolutely pathetic with that kind of stress behind it. Because super glue is actually designed for sticking skin back together, which is used for things like this. Yeah, that's when my mum cut her head open a few weeks back. That's what super glue is actually designed for. It's to knit two bits of skin back together, which is why you will always glue your fingers together before you glue a piece of photo etch to a piece of plastic. And that's why it happens, and your glue reacts with your skin first, because it's designed to work with human skin, not plastic and metal. Whereas this stuff is designed to work with plastic. So I'm going to put a good generous dollop there, and what this will do is it will melt the plastic together. I can feel that gripping straight away. So another goop in there, like so. Good generous amount, all surfaces. And then basically watch, like so, and then hold it for a few moments. Just make sure it doesn't pop out. And chemically what's happening now is the plastic is actually melting slightly because of the chemicals in the glue that reacts with the styrene and the ABS and things like that, and it all starts melting together. So what we're effectively getting is this kind of thing happening with the plastic. Super glue won't do that. If you think of super glue, it's more like the butter in between the pieces of bread in a sandwich. That's all that super glue will do. It will always react with your skin a lot quicker than it will react with everything else that you're supposed to be gluing together. It's great for a filler. Absolutely superb for a filler. But it's something I'll always use as my last resort. I'll always try and use a 2-part epoxy before I use super glue. I do apologise, I've got the sniffles. And then what I'll do, once this is set, after a few minutes I'll run around with some extra thin, get into all the crooks and nannies around the corner. Oh, that felt sharp. But it's not, it's a brick. So, I'm also thinking that's supposed to be soil and dirt and things like that, so we need to add a little bit more texture to this because it's terribly smooth. It's really smooth. I've got my tabletop gaming days. I'd never played the tabletop gaming, I used to build the stuff all the time. And I seriously do insist that anybody starting off in model making goes to the tabletop gaming industry first. They've got some great kits, some great paints, they've got some brilliant techniques for brush painting, which is basically where I learnt. It's a little bit wibbly wobbly. So I'm going to cut away here whilst I'm still waiting for glue to set and things like that, and you're not sat there waiting for glue to set. Right, so about 10 minutes later it seems to be doing its thing. I've just added off camera a couple of minutes ago a load of Tamiya thin into that corner there. So I'm just going to do the same here. It's literally just running through all the seams. Right, so you'll see it zip off around all the lines. So it's a generous amount. Get it right in there. Don't be shy. Like so. And again, just hang around with it for a few minutes. Just to make sure it doesn't go ping or anything like that. Because there is a, as we saw in the earlier clips, there's quite a kick to it. Quite the horseshoe effect. So I'm just waiting for the pressure to build up in my compressor now. Just lock you off there. Like so. Hopefully that's okay. So just taking a lazy Susan-y type thing that came with the airbrush stand. Airbrush stand? This thing, what's this called? Extractor, that's the one, thank you. So big blob of white tack, like so, just to hold the base in place. I'm actually going to just adjust you slightly so I can get you in properly. Try that, get a bit of feedback, see if we can get the sponsors in at the same time. Right, let's try that. See if that works. Okay, right, so in my Neo 4 Iwata, I just want to quickly test this. Okay, right, so off camera I've been shaking this bottle of Stanley for about 20 minutes, so it's the black Stanley. This is now available from A models under UMP license. Excuse me. Literally 2 days after I got this from, not E models, shh, don't tell them. UMP announced they were doing this on the license, and I was why? Cheers, Paul. Yeah, never mind. So now available unlicensed by UMP is this lovely Stanley stuff, and I'm going to use this inside my Neo as an experiment because I've not actually done any priming or anything like this with this Neo yet. I've only used Tamiya and Vallejo paints through this. I wouldn't use anything alcohol based, not alcohol, cellulose based like Alclads or anything like that, so anything solvent based, because in here, I can't show you now, there's the rest of it. I'll show you when I strip it down later, but you've got little rubber seals in here and down here somewhere as well. Something like Alclad will actually eat through those seals and completely ruin the airbrush. So when you use the inert paints like Tamiya or Vallejo Model Air through one of these, that's your warning. So literally just going to ghost on. You can probably see there it's barely turning the colour. Some black. I'm using black because I'm going back to my tabletop gaming days. Ugh. Using black primer and then working up from there. So I'm just going to come across here like that. So we're not going to smack everything in one go, we're just going to get a key down first. Just change the colour a little bit, like so. So it's a really light coat, and that's gone. Just going to add some more in. that's there, and that's it there, and then this one down here. Speaking's pretty hard to do at the moment because I'm coming down on this cold thing again. So all my sinuses are all blocked up. And I try and talk and it's just coming out. It's horrible. Don't like it. Make it stop. Right, so that's the mist coat sorted out. So you can see it's just changed now completely from that grey colour we had. So we're going to go in now with at least one more heavier coat. Just catching on that bed edge. See? Bed edge. Bed edge. That's supposed to be base edge. Talking's difficult. It really is. So the second you see it go all wet and flooded like that, hopefully you can catch that in the lighting. Like that. You probably see there I've got a big wet spot just here. As soon as you see that, move away somewhere else. So I'll probably do a third coat now. Yeah. Leave that for about half an hour or so, just to flash off and be touch dry. That's a good thing about this Stanley stuff as well, it's absolutely ridiculously fast drying, it really is. I was using, I'll shut you off, I was using Vallejo primers for a while, but they were taking something off like 3 days to dry, at least, before you could do anything with them. Which isn't, you know, the best of things. So just taking this, this cup off now. Just there you can probably see that red ring of the seal. If you use something like Alclad's cellulose base, cellulose reacts with rubber and other synthetic materials like rubber, and it will actually eat through that and dissolve it completely. So do be careful. Like I say, stick to the inert paints like Tamiya and Vallejo. I've been chucking X20A in there for fun, I really have, over the builds on my normal channel. I'm doing a Y-Wing and Boba Fett at the moment on my normal channel. I can throw X20A in that all day long, no problem at all. But the second you go in that with cellulose thinners, you'll destroy these seals. So do be careful. Spare me 2 seconds. I'm just going to blow my nose and take care of all this. It's horrible. Right then, do a third coat now on the base with the Stanley. So another quick squirt in the bottom of the cup. Nothing major, it's literally just covering the bottom. And then we can catch things now like just in here, in between these skulls, we've still got some grey showing through. Don't know if you can make that out. Probably can't. The lighting's a bit shocking. But I can see in there there's still some grey showing through. So it's literally coming from directly above now, just to fill those spots in. Like so. Come cross cast that wall edge. I can see a shadow line here that I didn't catch earlier. So it's basically now just going round and colouring in properly the bits that you missed earlier. So if you see anything that's really wet, move away from it completely, go on to something else. I'm just going to pull back on the trigger a little bit. Just cover the area properly. What you should get now is a nice solid block of black all over the base. Okay, shot Tony, things out. So you can see I'm barely pressing down for air. Like so, barely pressing down. I'm coming roughly halfway back, so there's a nice wide pattern coming out now. And hopefully we've now got a uniform layer of black. So I've still got some left in the cup, literally a few drops now, so I'm just going to blast everything, particularly in that door frame. The underside of the bricks as well that I've not quite caught. I'm sorry you can't see anything because my hand's in the way. I am sorry. So yeah, at that point the zombie apocalypse happened and I ended up with this really nasty grotty zombie flu thing, and I had to take a few days off work. Well, I ended up taking a week off work, to be honest, and I stayed in bed for 3 days, which was great. So that's where we are at the moment with the base. I've still got all the prep work to do with the oil drums and jerry cans and sandbags and things like that, so we'll take care of that possibly next episode, hopefully. I'm not too sure yet. Either way, next episode you will get to see one of these figures being built. Now he's not quite finished, and this is the first of the 5. I've still got to stick his arms on yet, but it's pretty detailed little kit. So if you've got this one already, one thing I will tell you to watch out for straight away is you see the little ruddy thing there. That's the sternocleidomastoid muscle in a human being. This tiny little thing. Let's see if we can zoom you in. Be really careful with that, boys and girls, because that is incredibly flimsy, as you'll see in the next video. So join me next time and we'll have a look at building that fella. Zoom you back out again. In the meantime, bob along, see my mates at emodels.co.uk, spend some money with them, tell them I love them, thank them for me for letting me do this kind of nonsense in the first place, and I shall see you in the next episode. In the meantime, take care guys, wear your face mask, the zombie plague's about.
Good. And don't